my teddy bear. Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We're here to answer your relationship questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have something that you would like to share with us, a comment, a question? Send it to our email address at its, always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now, let's get started. Are you there, Lynn?
I'm here, Lee. Hi, how are you?
Well, it's Tuesday, and it's a good Tuesday. The weather's nice. It's sunny. We're only getting slight winds and clouds from Irma. So,
Irma is a hurricane.
Right.
Everybody doesn't know that. Okay. Especially the women and men who are listening from other countries.
You're right. But we're having a good one this time instead of like the last one with Hurricane Harvey. So it's a good Tuesday.
And Hurricane Harvey was the hurricane that was in, Texas.
Yes.
In Texas. That was an enormous hurricane. Do you have water and stuff around you, Lee, on the ground?
It has receded.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's good.
As I watch the news, I get up in the middle of the night and watch CNN to see what's going on and if everybody's okay. But already it felt like it was not nearly as big, but very, very sad. Like, 1 million people are out of electricity, and everybody can live without electricity, especially where it's warm, and it's warm where you are. Huh, Lee?
Yes, it is.
So they're not freezing to death, but their homes.
But we know some over there that were hit with the Hurricane Irma, and they're in shelters right now, and the shelters don't have any electricity. But at least they're in the shelter. So that's good. And we haven't heard anything since then. But all our crews over here that worked so tirelessly in Texas have now transferred themselves towards Florida. And so we have a steady traffic stream of those vehicles and help going now to Florida.
You know what, Lee? You sound tired.
No, I'm not tired. I'm good.
You sound tired. Okay, let's sound perky.
We're perky. I am.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry I'm laying something on you that isn't true. So, okay, I'm glad you're not tired. I'm tired.
I was trying to sound like a newscaster, on TV, like how they've got all this to say and you try to put it together where it sounds like it flows. Yeah. So maybe that's what it was. My stab at broadcasting. So I have a listener that sent in a question to you. Would you like me to read it to you?
Sure.
Okay, here it goes. I have a question. I've listened to the Estranged Parents podcast, and here we call them forsaken parents, but I understand what she's saying. And I want to know what to do now. What I mean is, my daughter has rejected me. It has been 3 years since I have seen her. So what do I do now? Where do I go? What can I do? Signed, Sorrowful Mom.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Okay, Mom, first of all, I want to know what you want to do. You're not mentioning that, but I'm going to assume that you want your daughter back. I want to make a recommendation. Then, Lee, tell me what you think about this. I want to recommend that you write to her, Mom. Sorrowful Mom, precious Mother. I want to recommend that you write to her and tell her it's been 3 years and that you miss her. You might also include something that's special, something that's spiritual in your eyes, whatever that might be. That could mean if you're a Christian, that you send her a cross, or if you're Catholic, that you send her a rosary, or something spiritual that's included with your note to her. But I don't have enough information, Mom. You just sent us, I think, what was it, a couple of sentences, huh, Lee?
Yes.
But I do want you to know, I read it just before we came on the air. I do want you to know that I'm very sad about what's happening to you. And I've been there. Lee's been there too. We know exactly what you're going through. And I'll tell you what, my tears didn't dry up at 3 years. I don't
Lynn,
think that.
Lynn, excuse me, can you repeat that? We lost you for like 10 seconds, so we
Hmm,
missed what you said. Go ahead and repeat that, please.
hmm. Well, I forget. I go off on these things. What I want you to know, Mom, is that what I felt was very sad for you. I've been through that at 3 years. So has Lee. Right, Lee?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, both of us have been through 3 years. It's painful. It's painful, and the pain doesn't go away. Did you hear me make a recommendation? I said to you, please write a letter to her. If you haven't already, write a letter, send something spiritual. If you're Christian, send her a cross. If you're Catholic, send her a rosary. If you're not that Catholics aren't Christians, or a pretty necklace that says mom or something on it. No, we don't know if she's a mom. Daughter, something that's special. Send it to her and tell her what you're feeling. Tell her that you miss her. It's been 3 years. That's a long time. Daughter, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I certainly care about you. And it would be wonderful if you wanted to call me, at least so that we can talk about what's happened. I'm writing this letter in my head right now. You can do that, Mommy. And maybe you've already done it. See, I don't know. You only wrote 2 sentences, so I don't know what the circumstances were by which she, took you out of her life. But if you feel like sharing those with us, I'll be happy to respond more. What I do recommend, Lee, what do you think? I talked about her sending her daughter a letter and telling her how much she misses her, but maybe she's been doing that. What do you think, Lee?
I think that's good. It could be a letter or a card written with something written inside the card, maybe.
That's nice.
And I like the idea of what you said about something special. When you said special, you meant special slash possibly spiritual. Is that what you
Yeah,
meant?
I said spiritual.
Okay. And I think that's good, 3 good recommendations because you said a cross, also a rosary, or a pretty necklace. So that's 3 good choices to include in there, which I'm thinking I received the most beautiful gift, and it was in one of those envelopes that you get kind of at the post office or you can buy them, and they have that bubble. It's a bubble wrap envelope. And I opened it up, and it was the most beautiful rosary I'd ever seen in my whole life. And if it had just, okay, now say I'm the daughter, okay, say I'm the daughter. If it had just been like a letter, I might just have thrown it aside, not even really bothered to open it. Just depending on who or what the situation is, especially if I saw the return address or who knows. But if I see something that looks like there's something in it, I think I would be more prone to open it. What do you feel about that, Lynn?
Fine. I agree.
You
I
agree?
agree. Sure, I would be very curious to know what was in there that was sliding around in a box.
Yes. And it turned out to be the most beautiful rosary I ever had,
Yes,
and I want to share
yes,
with everyone that
yes.
Lynn is very creative. She is creative. She created the most beautiful rosary I have ever seen in my whole life. It's gorgeous.
Mm.
So I
Thank
I
you,
was just
Lee.
thinking of that when we're answering her, because of course I'm going to open it. I would, but then I'm thinking in regards to the mom, this being the daughter, that she would be more likely to open the padded envelope, just like you said, because there's something in there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you were going to open what I sent you. I sent it to Lee while the storm was going on, and a woman at Walmart said, "You like beads, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, I make rosaries." And so she gave me a lot of pearls. So Lee's rosary, and Lee is not a Catholic, nor am I, but I love rosaries and I meditate with them. I like to sit and meditate. So that's what I do with my rosary. And I made Lee one. Who said to me, "Gee, I'd love to have a rosary." That's what you said, Lee. So I made it for her while the thing was going on. Hi, kitty cat. If I let this cat, if I love this cat too much, he'll bite me.
Uh-oh.
Wait, that's what he does. He's a neat cat, but he bites. Okay. So thank you, Lee, for what you said. That's very, very nice. It's a beautiful rosary. See, if we were live, you could show your rosary.
Well, when we
And
go live, I will.
oh, yes, when are we going to do that, Lee?
I know. We are anticipating it soon in the very near future.
I don't know what's holding us up. I forget. But anyway, it'll happen when it's supposed to. It will.
Yes, it will.
Okay. So we have another letter. And this one, I am looking at it. I haven't read it all the way through at all. But Lee, we got this a long time ago, didn't we?
We did. In fact, I
Oh,
think this
I'm
came
so
right
sorry.
the hurricane, before Hurricane Harvey hit
Oh,
the second
could
time.
could we say we're sorry? I don't know if she signed her name. Let me see down at the bottom.
Let me look.
No, how do I cope with this mess? Listen, I'm sorry that this did not get opened and taken care of. I apologize to you, and I know you're hurting because I can see that in this letter. Lee, do you want to read it, honey?
Yes, I will. It says, "Hello, Lynn and Lee. I got in an argument with my husband last night. He accuses me of doing things I have not done. I actively try to avoid him so I don't get yelled at, but I didn't handle his yelling at me so well this time. All that I have learned about how to fight fair just flew out the window and I flew off the handle. I at least tried to keep the tears as silent as possible so as not to give him further triumph. I have 4 kids, 2 of them toddlers, oh my gosh, who are very active. When he pushes my buttons, it makes it very hard to deal with them. I lose my temper with them and yell, and then I feel immensely guilty. I let him make me so upset that I just can't deal with things. And of course, because of all the tension, the kids act up worse. I just don't know what to do anymore. I have no friends or family that can help me leave. I have been I think this is stay-at-home mother for the last 2 years, and I am not due to start work again for a few more months. My mantra almost every day is to keep telling myself he doesn't truly love me or care about me. I just need to survive this a few more years, long enough to get my oldest out of the house and my youngest two into school. Maybe I will be reestablished at my career by then. I just hate him so much sometimes. How do I cope with this mess?
I need to know something from her. Listen, Mother, is he being physically violent with you? I need to know that. Because that makes a difference. But since you didn't say that he's physically violent, then I'm going to assume that he's yelling at you. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that too, that it's mainly yelling.
Okay, well, that's a terrible thing, especially when kids are
Yes.
concerned. SAHM, I have been a
Okay.
stay-at-home mom. That
Right.
was neat that you were able to make that out.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 2 years now, and I am not due to start working again for a few more months. Okay, my mantra, this bothered me, Mother. My mantra every day is to keep telling myself he doesn't truly love me or care about me. What do you think about that, Lee?
That kind of concerned me also
Why?
because she's actually reinforcing
Right, right.
non-love and she's reinforcing it every day instead of saying he does love me, he's just having a hard time expressing it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, she's doing the opposite of that.
Mom, how come your mantra is he doesn't love me? See, we don't know why you're saying that. But that isn't going to help you. I don't think. I don't think. I think that's a negative way of handling a negative situation. Because how are you going to then at some point be glad to see him if your mantra is I can't stand him and I don't want him coming home or whatever. Those are my words. Oh, he comes home. He's there. He must care about you. He must. And the children, what about them? Does he care about them, Mom? We need to know that stuff. And you just need to survive this a few more years. That's a long time, Mother. I would like to see you turn this into something positive. It sounds so sad and so negative. And is there a way, even though, okay, wait, in the beginning, I got in an argument. He accuses me of doing things that I haven't done. Okay, usually that means he's accusing you of flirting with other men, flirting, having an affair. Is that true? Usually that's what it is when that's what the accusation is. What do you think, Lee?
I agree. I agree.
Okay. So if he's doing that, Mom, you know you're not doing it. I assume that you are not doing that. So why don't you just let that part go? Why do you need to get involved in saying, I've not done it, I haven't, da 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 da? But how about just looking at him and going, and saying, oh, honey, why would I do that with you? And let it go at that. What do you think, Lee?
Well, I was thinking about that when I was married. My
Uh-huh.
my husband just has a weird way of thinking, had a weird way of thinking, and he would accuse me not of that type of stuff. He would accuse
Mhm.
me of doing something to mess his truck up, or not putting something where it belonged, or
Okay.
whatever wasn't right. He would always accuse me of doing it,
Hmm.
even though I had nothing to do with it. Like if he couldn't find something, I was definitely the culprit. I did it.
Spending money is a big one, too.
Yeah, spending money.
Spending money, that's such a big issue between couples.
Hmm.
Okay, so what did you do, Lee?
A lot. What did I do? I was very not nice, and I said I had nothing to do with it. That's what I meant with whatever I was saying. I just flat said I had nothing to do with it. Take it somewhere else. That's what I said.
Well, that wasn't so bad. There are things you could have done that would have been a lot worse. Okay, I don't know. I have no friends or family that can help me leave. Mommy, what are you doing? Do you have a social life at all? One where mothers take their children and you all get together and help each other? You need something to do, Mom. And I need to know if you're being abused physically. It sounds like you're being abused emotionally. I want to know if you're being abused physically. And let's see, it says, and of course, the kids act up worse. You know why they're acting up, Mom? Because they're scared.
Hmm.
That's why they're acting up, and they want to get attention. So, how about as they act up in front of your husband, how about if you pick them up and tell them how much you love them and that Daddy doesn't mean to act this way? Daddy's just having a hard time. And then, if you can, if they're safe, hand one of them over to Daddy and let him try to comfort them, because that gives him something to do.
I
What,
like
Lee, got anything more to?
I like that. That's a very good idea. That's taking a negative situation and putting a positive on it and reinforcing the children that they're secure, they're going to be okay. I think that's great.
Good. Well, but Daddy has to be willing to do that.
Right.
And you don't have to ask him first. Hand your child, and if he doesn't do it right, then say, oh, honey, it's okay. I'll take the child. I'll take Johnny.
Hmm.
And then you comfort Johnny again. And ask him, would you play with the kids? Try to get him involved with the children if he can. Okay, Mother, is your husband drinking?
I was waiting for that.
And, I hate to make everything about drinking, but it usually is. Is he drinking? And if he is drinking, then he's not safe. You didn't mention that. You guys, I love it when you write to us. Will you please assume that I'm going to ask you if your husband or your wife is drinking? Because I am, and I can't answer and tell you what I really think you ought to do, which is for him to go to AA and him to get a sponsor involved in all of this. If he's acting really horribly toward you, it has to do with the alcohol. I'm thinking about a couple, a woman, a wife who came in to see me years back, and I said, tell him not to drink. Tell him not to drink for 1 month and to go to meetings, and you go to meetings too. And I want to see you in a month. I don't need to see you in the meantime. As long as he's going to meetings and not drinking, and you are going to Al-Anon. She came back a month later and said, my God, this is a whole new marriage. I can't believe who he is. He's turned into a nice person. As long as someone is drinking, they're the drinking monster. That's who they are. I've never said that before. As long as they're drinking, honey, you're never going to get your relationship handled. You won't. You can't. He's sick if he's drinking.
And that would go for gambling also. He would have be a gambling monster. Does
Yes,
that
he did.
that applies to?
And yeah, but yeah, it's true. Whatever he's doing that gets his chemicals in his brain misfiring, but usually it is the chemicals found and mood-altering chemicals, which are alcohol and drugs. Usually, Lee, but you're right, gambling. But if they're gambling, they drink a lot too, babe.
That's true.
Yep. And if they're looking at pornography, they're usually gambling. Oh,
Or drinking, or whatever.
no, did I say no? They're usually drinking. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys, but why don't you save yourself some time and put that sentence in the letters you send us? He's not drinking, she's not drinking, or they are drinking, or they're looking at pornography, or whatever it is that they're doing. Okay? I need one sentence that tells me what they're up to, because he's doing something. And lots of times, oh God, I hear it. He's not drinking, but he is. He doesn't drink very much. Excuse me? Tell me how much they do drink.
Or how much
And
they know about how much they do drink.
yeah, that's true. And if they're drinking 2 drinks or more, they're drinking too much every day. It's true. You guys don't know what alcoholism looks like. Now, it's true. Lee, how are we doing? I don't see how many minutes we have left. Have we gone over?
No, we're about right at 3.
Well, then it's time to sing our song.
Yes, it is. It's time to sing our song. So would you suggest, okay, just for instance, if say he's not drinking, okay, say he's not drinking, maybe he is involved in something else and it might be a secret to her or being hidden from her, she might not know it. Is this still a good situation where she should go to Al-Anon herself in this
Sure,
situation?
of course, it won't hurt anything. The other thing that we didn't say is maybe he's having an affair.
Right.
And that's true. Maybe he is. And what he's doing is trying to prove to you, mother, that you're no good. That would be very, very sad. I hope that it isn't that way. But he's not all that wonderful a person. Really, he's not. To be treating you this way and in front of the children. But
Yes.
Mommy, listen, we need to know what's going on. And I am so sorry that we didn't get back to you. You got put aside in in all of the storms that were going on. I apologize. We try to answer your letters the day we get them, or at least the next day. And it's been several days since we got yours. Let's see, 19 hours ago. That's almost 2 days. I apologize for that. I thought it was longer than that, Lee, but mine says that it's 19 hours ago. So,
Good. Not
Mom,
too long.
write back to us, would you, and tell us what's going on? You haven't given us enough information, and I would love to help you if I can. And I will try, but you got to
Yes.
give me more information.
But right now, at this point, to answer just the question that she asked, how do I cope with this mess? Our suggestion would be, at this point in time, for her to go to Al-Anon.
Okay, but she's got kids, Lee, and that's going to be hard. She's got 4 kids
I know.
to get. Some of the Al-Anon meetings invite you to bring your children along. Call them in the white pages and find Al-Anon and find a meeting where and some of them say they don't have keeping, but they want you to come to the meetings. Bring your kids. They'll all help take care of the kids. So
Oh, that'd be great. What
what
about other
happens?
countries? In other countries, I know AA's all over the world. What about
Yes, it
Al-Anon?
is. So's Al-Anon.
Okay, good. Well, I think we
Good
answered that one.
question.
Yeah, that's
No, we didn't really. We need more information.
well.
I care about this mother, and I'm sorry. And the 4 kids, oh, heartbreaking.
Yes, it is.
Mommy, try to hold your temper if you can.
Okay, that's a good.
Well, but
suggestion
that's
too.
hard.
It is.
That's hard. It'll change later, but
Yeah.
he pushes my buttons. Yep.
Well, We did as much as we could with the information that we have at hand right now. So I hope that was helpful. And as Lynn said, she will always ask or wants to know what they are up to. So make sure when you write in regards to relationship and when there's a difficulty, some type of, she said one sentence. What are they doing? What are they up to? That way it gives us more information to work with.
If you tell me they're not an alcoholic, I'm probably going to doubt that you know what you're talking about. I have to be honest about that. Because what you think is an alcoholic and what I think is an alcoholic are two different things. I promise that's true. I just have to say that. So I want to know how much they are drinking, because he's just a social drinker. He only drinks 2 or 3 drinks. And I go, yeah, okay. That's what you know. Anyway, and something's going on that's making him act this way.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, we need to quit.
Yes, we do.
We're over our time.
Okay. Well, listeners, be back tomorrow. It's going to be Wednesday. We'll be back here again, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So until tomorrow, remember, it's always about love. And we care about you. Right, Lynn?
Oh, we do. We do, you guys. We love you.
Yes, we do. Good night.